Hit it, boy.
No way! 10 pounds!
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we finally get my Turbo Civic started, and I must apologize as well. It took ages for this part 2 to come out. We ran into a bunch of problems with the ECU, tuning, and a bunch of other random like miscellaneous stuff, but we finally got it figured out, so I'm sorry about the long wait on that. But today we get it fixed, we make some boost, we have some more problems, but right now the car is running, so let's get into it. We're going to be ready for the first start now, so we're about to try to start it up. Hopefully it starts, and if it starts we know if we drive around the block. Let's get into it. Okay guys, jumping inside the car now, and we're about to go for a first start. I'm scared. I don't know if it's going to start. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Gauge is working. Yep. Okay, so what's happened is because we got all the oil turbo feed and drain lines in, there's no oil in there. We don't want to run our turbo with no oil. So what you do, I've pulled my fuel pump fuse out here. So we're just going to turn the car over a little bit, and that's going to get the oil pressure building up. We're going to keep an eye on the pressure, currently on 0. So we're going to keep an eye on this pressure, and we just want to build up the pressure, and then we'll be ready to plug back in the fuel pump fuse and start it up for good. Nah, not building any oil pressure. Well, we've turned it over heaps now. Put back in the fuse, and we're just gonna try to start it and see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't blow up.
Hopefully, brother.
Hopefully. All right, here we go. Let's run it. Turbo Civic.
Okay, there was lots of reasons why this wasn't starting, but the main of which at the time was that I had actually blown a separate fuse for fuel and engine management, which was the reason why there was no fuel pressure and it was not starting.
To the fuel pressure regulator, there was 0 fuel pressure. We pulled out one of the plugs, which is still pulled here. There was no spark, there was no fuel, and there was an engine light on. So test a couple things out, and then hopefully today will be the day that she's going to start up. I've just cracked the car over to ignition, and we heard the fuel pump whine, so my money's on. It's starting this time. First start of the Civic. What are we saying? Hopefully. It's starting, come on. All right, here it is. Turbo Civic. I hear the fuel pump. Come on. Bro, that was getting so close. All right, well, the rain yesterday was getting way too bad, so had to call it quits there because we were drenched. But as you could hear, the Civic it sounded like it was wanting to start. We definitely had spark, we definitely had fuel. Fuel pressure was good, fuel pump was whining. Right now, obviously the car's not on, so there's no pressure, but I turned up the pressure quite high. I think it was at 70 or so, which is definitely more than what I should need. I think the optimal amount's around 60. We played around with the timing of the Dizzy as well. Because the ECU I'm running, I can Bluetooth on my phone. I can literally see like the timing and see everything. So we played around with the timing. We played around with the fuel pressure. Everything's good. So I'm really not sure why it's starting, but I'm gonna go around. I'm just gonna check more fuses, and I'm just going to let it, because it's been sitting since we tried yesterday, and it's a nice warm day. So hopefully a mix between letting it sit, because it probably was a bit flooded, so letting it cool down, coming back out here again, and spraying some starter fluid sort of stuff in the intake manifold. First time, hopefully she's going to start up, is what I'm hoping. I don't see why it's not, so hopefully today will be the first start up, so let's see. Hit it, boy. The Civic is running! Yo!
No way, bro.
Yo!
Bro, that started like...
No, what? Alright, so what's just happened is James has put in a stock untuned. So it must have been the Chipmunks had a messed up tune on it. We're just putting a stock OBD1 Civic tune and it fires up first pop. Come on. You turned it off, eh? Yeah. I've got it. No way. Bro, I'm so high. Let me turn this back on. I gotta turn this back on. Alright, the Civic has started. All the wheels are back on. She's back on the ground. We're going to take it for a drive, see how she runs. I'm not expecting, right now it's on a completely stock tune, so I'm really not expecting it to run well. There's probably heaps of random boost leaks and whatnot going on, but we're just going to take it for a drive and make sure it doesn't blow up. So we'll bring you guys with us, don't worry. Let's go. Okay, we just going for a drive now, and I've realized something. So I'll show you in a minute, but basically, when I drive and I put my foot flat, at say about 300 RPM above that, it starts breaking up really, really bad. And I just thought it was a super rough tune, but what I believe is that it has it set so once your foot goes flat, this ECU has some sort of rolling anti-lag set onto it, which I don't know how to remove, but it's doing it because I just tried and I did a whoops, sorry. I just tried and I did a pull with only, like, say I'll go half throttle right now. It goes all the way to 5. But say right now I'm gonna do foot flat and it starts doing a rolling anti-lag. I fixed out the vacuum gauges. Basically I just had a wired plumbed into the wrong spot. So when we get home I'll show you that, but vacuum and all that is working now. I still have that weird sort of thing, but you can see it goes into boost a little bit there on foot flat. Obviously I'm only at 2k RPM, but gauge is working. It is going into boost. We're seeing all of that. Still running way too rich, but I do have an idea though. Maybe later tonight or tomorrow I'm gonna go around to James's. We're gonna try to sort out the ECU, and also Luke's getting the tune on the chip for me right now. So then we can put that all back together, and hopefully we're gonna be able to see how she goes. Hopefully. Okay, so for my boost sensor, I now have a line that just goes to the line, this vacuum line coming straight out of the manifold. I've just teed into that, so I kept that going, brought the line over here, and I still have the one coming off the nipple, which now just goes into the boost tap to control the boost, which I do not need yet, but I thought I might as well just do it now anyway. Okay, so there's a pretty big gap here that I forgot to record. Basically, I took it to my mate of mine who's a tuner, and we got a pretty tidy base map in there, got a new map sensor on it, and then finally it was boosting and I could actually rev it out all the way, but we were hitting boost cut, but you'll see that in a second. Alright, well, so we're driving it right now. It's very loud, so I'm having to yell to actually so you guys can hear me, but boost cut is currently set to 10 and it seems to be hitting 10 pounds like quite fast, but I'll get on it here about 70% throttle. That's boost cut that it's hitting, but up until boost cut though, it runs really nice. It's a bit boggy below 3.5, but up until there it is a bunch of fun and it sounds so good. See, it's a bit boggy there, but then once it gets into boost and a bit higher, then it starts going until once again it hits boost cut. But it's so loud, it really does just make it ring in my ears. It's so bassy and drony, but yeah, so the car is running now. There was just a whole bunch of trouble with the ECU, so finally I have got that sorted out, and there's still a lot more tune work that needs to be done, but we will get onto that as soon as possible. Right guys, well, we're back in the Civic. I've put in a 6-pound wastegate spring in order to hopefully stop hitting boost cut. So obviously my tap's turned all the way down, so in an ideal world it wouldn't be, I was hoping it was just going to be nice sitting at 6 pounds all the way through, but unfortunately that is not the case. So I'll get on it here, watch the boost gauge here, watch the revs. Well, it does make it up to about 6 and then it cuts out again. So my current thought process is that isn't actually a boost cut. I think it might be a fuel cut because as you guys know, I'm still running stock injectors on this, so I think I might be running out of fuel is my only thought right now. But either way, Civic is still making boost and it's still boosting want to end this video here because it's been going on for long enough. We've had enough problems for one video, but we're going to make another video on when I get my new injectors, when we get the tune a bit more dialed in, and hopefully in the next one it's going to be running like a dream, and it'll be videos, I'll be boosting it, take it to the hills, and I'll finally get some reactions, and it will be in the next video. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.